Hi everybody, I hope you all enjoyed last week's story, Commotion in the Ocean. Now this week we are learning all about the seaside. So if you're grown-ups, have a look on the website. There are some activities and some ideas of things you can do about the seaside. So I thought I would choose this week's story, and I have picked The Singing Mermaid because at the start of this story it's set at the seaside down at the beach. So I hope you all enjoy this week's story, The Singing Mermaid, and it's by my favourite author, Julia Donaldson. Okay, so here's our Singing Mermaid. Did you ever go to Silver Sands on a sunny summer's day? Then perhaps you saw the mermaid who sang in the deep blue bay. She sang to the fish in the ocean, to the haddock, the hake and the sling, and they flashed their scales and swished their tails to hear the mermaid sing. So the mermaid's got a beautiful voice and all the sea creatures like to listen to her sing. And sometimes the Singing Mermaid swam to the silvery shore. She sat and combed her golden hair, and then she sang some more. She sang to the cockles and mussels. She sang to the birds on the wing. And the seashells clapped and the seagulls flapped to hear the mermaid sing. So can you see some of the sea creatures that we had in our story last week? In Commotion in the Ocean, there's some crabs and there's some mussels and there's some cockles and hermit crabs. I don't think we had a gull in the story, but there's a seagull there as well. Some fish in the water. When Sam's Sly Circus came to town, Sam took a stroll by the sea. He heard the mermaid singing and he rubbed his hands with glee. That means he was happy. He was rubbing his hands with glee. He said, I can make you famous. I can make you rich, he said. You shall swim in a pool of marble and sleep on a fine feather bed. Oh. You shall sing for the lords and the ladies, you shall sing for the king and queen, and young and old will pay good gold to hear the mermaid sing. So Sam Sly's come down to the mermaid and asked if she will go with him to the circus. Don't go, cried the seagulls, and the seashells warned, he lies. But the mermaid listened to old Sam Sly and smiled as she waved her goodbyes. So she's happy because he's promised her a bed and a bath made of marble. And he took her away to the circus, and she sang to the crowds round the ring. And more came the deafening roar when they heard the mermaid sing. So everybody loves to listen to the mermaid. She looks really happy there, doesn't she? Now the mermaid shared a caravan with Annie the acrobat, and Ding and Dong the circus dogs. Here we are. And Bella the circus cat. And she made good friends with the jugglers, and the man who swallowed fire, and the clown with the tumble-down trousers, and the woman who walked on a wire. So she made lots of friends while she'd been on the circus. But she wasn't friends with old Sam Sly. No, she didn't care for him, for he made her live in a fish tank where there was no room to swim. So he promised her a bath made of marble, and instead he's put her in a fish tank. And there was no pool of marble, and there was no feather bed. And when she begged him, set me free, he laughed and shook his head. Oh dear, that's not nice, is it? He's been very greedy. He's taken all the money, what the mermaid's got him for her beautiful singing, and he's not been very kind. All summer long the circus toured, all autumn, winter and spring, and many a crowd cheered long and loud to hear the mermaid sing. But the mermaid dreamed of silver sands, and she longed for the deep blue sea. And her songs grew sad, and again she said, I beg you, set me free. But again he laughed and shook his head, and he told her no such thing. Here you will stay where people pay to hear the mermaid sing. So he won't set her free. She just wants to go back to Silver Sands now, to be back with her, with all the sea creatures. At Silver Sands, a seagull was flying to his nest, when on the breeze he heard a song, the song which he loved the best. And he followed the song to the caravan. Sam Sly was about to lock it. The seagull watched as he turned the key and slipped it inside his pocket. So the seagull has followed her voice, followed her to the circus, and he's watched Sam Sly locking the door and taking the key. The seagull waited till Sam had gone. Then he perched on the windowsill and tap, tap, tap at the window. He tapped with his yellow bill. That's his beak. Come back to Silver Sands. It's only a mile away. I can find the key and set you free if you'll come back home to the bay. Escape, barked the dogs. Escape, meowed the cat. But the mermaid sighed, I'd fail. For how could I walk to Silver Sands when I only have a tail? Oh, I wonder how she's going to get back then. She can't walk there, can she? Like this, cried Annie the acrobat, and she stood upon her hands. This is the way, the only way, to get to Silver Sands. Right hand, left hand, tail up high. There's really nothing to it. If I give you lessons every night, you'll soon learn how to do it. So Annie the acrobat, who's her friend, is going to show her how to get back to the beach by walking on her hands. Next week, while Sam was snoring, the seagull stole the key. He carried it off to the caravan and set the mermaid free. And he flew ahead to guide her as she walked upon her hands all along the moonlit road that led to Silver Sands. And the creatures on the seashore and the fish beneath the foam jumped and splashed and danced with joy to have their mermaid home. So everybody's happy now to have her back. And the mermaid looks happy now as well, doesn't she? And she sang to the cockles and mussels. She sang to the birds on the wing. And the seashells clapped and the seagulls flapped to hear the mermaid sing. And if you go down to Silver Sands and swim in the Bay of Blue, perhaps you'll see the mermaid and perhaps she'll sing for you. So maybe next time you go to the seaside, if you're on the beach, if you just stop and listen quietly, you'll have to see if you can hear the singing mermaid. Hope you enjoyed that story. I'll speak to you again soon, okay? Bye-bye.